Gunnar. So you've been in this game for a really long time. In fact, what Jeremy said was accurate. We've all been following you forever. Like, and you have this amazing gym with all kinds of cool machines that I've never seen before in my life. And now you are in that gym. I see you on Instagram. Just follow Gunnar and you can see he's using all of these machines with this weighted vest on. And I can imagine that you're going to be training many of your celebrity clients in this vest in your gym, or you're doing all these different movements. Can you share a little bit about what you're experiencing that's different for you when you're doing certain movements with the vest on, and what you would recommend to people here that are going to go into a gym and exercise with the vest on? What are you seeing as like the most bang for your buck when it comes to like a full body workout?
So a couple of things I would touch on, I think Jeremy hit first was if you can do all these things in the vest and then you go back to your real life and you're doing those movements without the vest, it's going to be that much easier. To me, that's such a basic premise. I don't know where people miss the boat on that. I've trained with weight vests literally for 20 years, and I have had all the ones from more traditional plate carriers to the ones that strap across to the ones that you have to put over and double flap and grip, and they are. Brent was so eloquent when he said they suck. Well put. They're just difficult and they're more cumbersome, and in my experience, anything that's that cumbersome is less likely to be used, right? It's either that or where you put it, right? In my gym with all the equipment, if we don't use something often, it's not because the piece has lost its efficacy, it's because the piece is difficult to access. And I would say the same with the vests. If they're difficult to access, they're less likely to use. With these, posturally, I watch people put them on and immediately they do that, right? When they're zipped up, especially the workout ones, they just stand taller, so it's better. We spoke about it before. Circulation is king. So if you're improving circulation right out of the gate, you're getting more out of what you're already doing. My tagline for this would be, everybody in fitness is asking the people that come to them to do something else, right? Add this, subtract this, do that. I would say, put on the vest and don't do anything else. Call me in a week. Do what you normally do. And that's a very easy pitch for someone who's dealing with the people who are coming for change. When they're saying, I want to drop weight, whether it's body fat or just overall size, if you tell them, just put on the vest, the rest is going to happen. People are looking, you tap into hacks all the time. I see them, I get it, but I think a lot of people are missing they're still looking for the shortcut. They're still looking for the magic pill, the bullet. That's not there. If you do the base stuff, if you do the lifting, if you do the cardio, if you watch your sleep, if you manage your stress, if you're focused on nutrition, if you're focused on hydration, if you're focused on supplementation, the hacks are tremendous to take you into that next infinitesimal, point system. You want to get 1% better, 2% better, 0.5% better. Like, how much better? There's so many Minnesota people here. Who's the best player in the NBA right now? I mean, if you want, because you're Minnesota, we'll give you Anthony Edwards. He's not going to get 50% better next year, but he could get 1% better. To me, the vest is that 1%, but it's that 1% all the time. So why wouldn't you wear it? And then you take it off, or you switch to honestly, it looks like a fashion show. You switch to that for your day-to-day, or you take it off and you just live your life, you're going to get that much better. And it's what happens is it becomes unconscious, and you put it on, you zip it up, posturally you're more aware, and you just go about your business, whether it's your workout or your day-to-day, and you get better. That is as close to passive exercise as you will find, and passive exercise sells for the masses.
I just want to add to one thing that you said, because it was important in the athletic experience that I've had with professional athletes, is the lack of awareness that you're actually wearing weight is as important as the weight. You could put the most high intensity, performance improving shoes on an athlete, but if they're hyper aware that they're wearing those shoes, if their ankle is just a little bit unstable, you're actually denigrating their performance, because now they're drawing their attention to that device. You notice a lot of like Whoop makes Whoop in like 6 different places you can place it on your body. Patrick Mahomes wears one in every game, but he doesn't wear it on his wrist because he's aware that it's on his wrist, and he doesn't like that awareness being drawn to that device. The same thing is true with weight. As soon as you draw your attention to the weight and you're focused more on the weight, you're actually less focused on the performance. The one thing that I have noticed about using the compression vests on athletes is just a few minutes into an exercise routine, there's no awareness that they're wearing weight. And that's exactly what you want. You want the same kinds of movements to occur in the same patterns, just under an increased load. And for compression gear, that's really important. We've all worn the weights that kind of strap onto your shoulders, and you go for a rock walk and it just kind of bounces and it's tugging down and it's loading your spine every time. And then when you get into bed that night, your low back is just shot. That's not a good way to tax the body. That's not a hormetic stress. That's an actual damage stressor. So the fact that you're unaware just a few minutes afterwards, if you've worn these, you're just unaware just a few minutes into a workout that you even have it on.
And back that up also, having weight on your core zipped up tight to you is completely different from having weight at a distal point. So if you have a hand weight, and there are great hand weights there, and they're great for simulating whether it's shadow boxing or unconscious dumbbell movement patterns, or ankle weights, to me, I don't want to say worse, but so much more difficult to put that in real life, and it will alter your gait when you're walking. The weight at the distal point is uncomfortable, and you're never not aware of it. Double negative alert. But when it's on the vest, it's over. It's on and it's over. And you literally think about it later, and you benefit from that. So to me, it's an easy sell if you're on the marketing side, but also from a physiological side, it's an easy pitch because you're going to get better and not be aware of it.